Hey, Rising Fiber. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today, we are continuing to learn all about the compatibility of the Taurus sign. Today's video specifically will be about the Taurus and Sagittarius compatibility. It will include sexual and intimacy compatibility, trust, communication and intellect, emotions, values, and shared activities. We're going to get started with Taurus and Sagittarius sexual and intimacy compatibility. When Taurus thinks of sexuality, Sagittarius is probably the last person on their mind. With their childish attitude that changes with the weather, there seems to be no room for any sexual activity in their life. Although this is a delusion, these signs are too far apart in their basic character to understand each other's sexuality. Sagittarius would probably think of Taurus as a person who eats and sleeps all day long. There's nothing sexual about that, right? It is interesting, though, how two people ruled by two beneficent planets, such as Venus and Jupiter, can't seem to find sexual satisfaction. The fact is, they can. Although this is a rare scenario, they could actually use their two attributes to enhance sexual pleasure that Venus would offer. If they understood each other as two individuals who deserve respect, they could find the missing link for a very interesting and fulfilling sex life. Taurus would take care of their Sagittarius partner and keep them satisfied. In return, they would get a cheerful soul who knows how to make their relationship exciting. There is so much to be learned about the light side of sexuality here, and this could be a fun experience if Taurus loosened up a little and Sagittarius slowed down. Trust. The sign of Sagittarius is considered something like a synonym for honesty. It is true that representatives of this sign have no idea how to make up a lie, let alone tell it. Still, when it comes to romantic relationships, they often suffer from a Don Juan syndrome and can't get enough attention from one partner. Taurus finds this repulsive at best, and if a relationship with a Sagittarius partner begins and they start acting this way, there is a big chance they will get dumped. Trust between these partners isn't something to be questioned and analyzed. If they do trust each other, they can have a wonderful, trusting relationship for a while, but there is still no guarantee on how long this can last. If they don't, it won't be mended, whatever they try to do. Usually, loss of trust here simply breaks up the relationship, and they both go their separate ways with no regret. Communication and intellect. There are so many beautiful things in the world, and so much to talk about when you think about them. Taurus and Sagittarius both have this joy about them that can be awakened by their relationship. With the moon exalted in Taurus and Jupiter exalted in Cancer, ruled by the moon, there is a certain feel, a soul, a tenderness to share between them. Their approaches to life are different, their characters incomparable, but the joy they can feel towards some things is completely the same. If they don't find this shared feeling of joy, they could both learn the bad communication really is. In most cases, they can talk about the weather and be fine, but when they have a problem, this turns into a ridiculous conversation that isn't really a conversation at all. Sagittarius will want to jump out of their skin while waiting for Taurus to finish the sentence, as much as Taurus will look at their Sagittarius partner as a source of all stupidity. Taurus is your countryside and Sagittarius is the world, so their problems could easily include disrespect because of their origin and their goals. Although they will rarely end up in a fight or use ugly words, it can sometimes be too obvious how much they don't care for each other's worlds and how far apart they really are. Emotions. They are both connected with the moon in a way, so there are some feelings to be shared. However, Sagittarius doesn't normally react with such emotion to static, from their perspective, boring Taurus nature. I'm sorry, y'all, but I've read this so much about a Taurus, how they can be kind of boring. But I actually love a Taurus because they're so go with the flow. But anyways, that's just a side note. If Taurus was a bit more prone to temporary infatuations or platonic relationships, they could fall in love with the Sagittarius enough to overcome the differences between them. Sagittarius, on the other hand, is often infatuated and temporarily in love. There's a great chance they will fall in love with a Taurus if they like their physical appearances, but they won't last if those feelings for long enough to gently lead Taurus to mutual love. Their pace is off, and they rarely get in sync with their emotions. Both relationships between a Taurus and a Sagittarius partner that manage to last are those that started as friendship and had a chance to develop emotionally for years without them actually being in a romantic relationship. Values. The combination of signs of Taurus and Sagittarius is a flower child full of love, understanding for the world, and ultimately humane. They could support each other's utopian worlds as a bit too passionately, and this could lead to one of them or both being in a delusion about what reality really is about. There's too much love and happiness in the world. There is too much love and happiness in the world if they start sharing opinions, and this can become like a drug to both of them. The practicality of Taurus will usually break this pattern and hit a counterattack with their reality checks and material issues so they can both remember where their values part ways to security and utter lack of it. Sorry guys, I keep thinking of my Taurus as I'm reading and it's messing up me reading, so I do apologize. I'm going to try to stop that. Taurus and Sagittarius shared activities. Food. Not surprising. That is mostly what they have in common and that they share. Taurus might not actually share food with joy, but they will certainly like to share the activity of eating. It could be quite easy for them to find other things to do together too. Their problem will surface the moment Taurus wants to go home and spend an evening in their warm bed, while Sagittarius fun just begun. They don't share the same passion towards the same things, and although they might have fun being together, their priorities are not the same. The fire energy of Sagittarius will be put off by Taurus, Earth personality, and this will be tedious for both of them. So, in summary, with their inner beauty and the understanding they share in search of truth of life, they might seem as a perfect couple. However, every positive needs a negative to complete it, and when we really observe, we can notice that often a Taurus and Sagittarius don't even get attracted to each other. Taurus needs earthy pleasures in their relationship, and as a fixed earth sign, it is the slowest of all signs. Ain't that the truth? Anyways, this is not exactly someone who can easily understand the fast, changeable, and fiery Sagittarius. The best possible scenario for their relationship would be for them to get to know each other very well and build a friendship without expectations for years. In the end, this could result in a deep understanding that would provide them both with enough patience to actually start a relationship that has a future. If not, they can always hold on to the beauty in the world. Imagine how wonderful the world of creation could be if they joined their forces of good. And I agree with that, but I agree with that with every sign. So if everybody could just focus on what is beautiful in the world and just join forces to just create more good, how wonderful would our world be? Seriously. But even if it's just these two signs, starting somewhere. So if this is you or somebody you know, try it. Try to just see the beauty in the world, y'all. Anyways, if you like this video, if you want to keep taking this little journey of compatibilities, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. All love is appreciated. Have a good one, y'all.